Top of the morning to you. Sunday morning. It is conference championships in the NFL. And don't worry, Saints fans, we don't have any of that to worry about because we are talking the Saints. It is 7 a.m. in California. It is 9 a.m. in Mobile, where SBP will be this upcoming weekend covering the Senior Bowl. Make sure you are a patreon.com, Saints Block Party. I want to give a big shout out to Chris in the chat. If you are watching this on YouTube, Saints Block Party on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Chris with a $20 super chat off the bat.
Thank you, Chris.
Asks, is this our lowest point of relevance since the end of the Ditka era in 1999? Man, I wasn't even a Saints fan then. Like, I don't think I was even like a football fan at that point in time. So I can't even answer that. I don't even feel like I'm equipped to answer that. That's more of a Ryan question.
Yeah, it's pretty much there. It's pretty much there. Like, even, as low as after Katrina was, the team was relevant because of Katrina. Like, it was like, it was a story. You know what I'm saying? But after Ditka, that little, completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. That's about where we are right now. Very irrelevant. Not on anyone's radar.
Nope.
Not on anyone's Q rating. It's just we back to those days, baby. It's right back where we were.
So we wanted to do this because, one, I fly out tomorrow to New Orleans, and then me and our boy Dante will be road tripping to Mobile, and Tuesday we'll start the Senior Bowl process. Hopefully Ryan could be at the Senior Bowl presser tomorrow. Jim Nagy, we'll see. I don't know who's going to be. I don't know the players who's supposed to be at the presser. But listen, bro, we got to talk about this news. It came out yesterday.
Let's talk about it.
Joe Brady said, I ain't gonna be there. He said, that head coaching job, even though I'm ambitious as hell,
ambitious as fuck, I'm
good. I don't like, and the funny thing is, I don't even think he got a pay raise. He just said, I'm not gonna be there. He didn't even get the Liam Cohen, bro. He said, I'm good. I wanna go back to something that was told to me 2 years ago. My good friend, who, in terms of information, when they tell me things, is right 95% of the time. They told me 2 years ago, maybe 2.5. I don't remember. The timeline is fuzzy. They told me 2 years ago that in the league circle, the Saints were being viewed as a laughing stock in the league. Said on the podcast. Yep. Have said it in the Discord numerous times before.
I was like, come on, man. Jets, Raiders.
Me too, Ryan. I was like, nah, not the Saints. Not the Saints. Yes, it was right. It was right. Because let's break that in timeline. Sean Payton left. That head coaching search, one, it was a sham. They went with Dennis Allen, but even that sham process, even though Doug Peterson is unemployed right now, the fact that you Zoom interviewed a Super Bowl winning head coach and he still took the Jacks to the playoffs, had a comeback win in the playoffs, and also won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback, mind you. And then this head coaching process, I want to go down the candidates, okay? Mike Vrabel. There was a request to interview Mike Vrabel. But never got a response back from Mike Vrabel, okay? Ben Johnson. This never got reported. This is never out there, but they reached out to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson people said, absolutely not.
Like, is you crazy? Why are you calling me?
Not even a virtual interview, Ryan. Okay? Aaron Glenn. The Aaron Glenn that blew Mickey Loomis away in 2022, the one that they probably should have hired in 2022, the one that Mickey Loomis was, as soon as DA got fired, it was going, everyone knew it was going to be Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn said, you won't get to see me in person. I'd rather work with Woody Johnson than give the Saints a in-person interview. Oh, and by the way, I worked on the staff in the building for the Saints. Okay. Joe Brady also was in the building. Ambitious as hell. I was told this yesterday that the reason why Joe Brady declined his in-person interview was the exact reason why Liam Cohen declined his in-person interview with the Jags when Trent Baalke was the general manager. He said, "Oh, is Mickey Loomis the general? Oh, okay, I'm good. I'll just stay here in Buffalo. Let me ride out another season with Josh Allen and a stud offensive line." Yeah, the Chiefs might beat me on Sunday, but shit, run it back.
Run it back, baby. I'm 35 years old, 36. Shit, I got time. I don't need that stress. And I bet, I'm telling you, I bet McDermott talked to him, man. Like, just like real heart to heart, like, bro. Like, look, I'm not stopping you from going nowhere. You want to go somewhere, like, but just be a little smart, man. You know, think, man. Think before you jump in that water, because that job there, ooh-wee.
Like you know, sometimes a parent has to have like a heart-to-heart conversation with like their young adult, or like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old who thinks they know everything, and they super ambitious, and they think that they shit don't stink, and they just want to, you know, just they think they got the world figured out, and the dad or the mom, they got to just have that sit down with them and say, hey, listen, baby, listen. Buying up a little more than you could chew right now.
Right.
And that's probably what Sean McDermott, like, you said it's Sean McDermott, bro. Maybe it was Sean Payton being like, hey,
I would love to know what Sean's saying behind the scenes.
Because Sean know.
Sean know. Oh, come on now. Sean know better than anybody. And Sean run his goddamn mouth, too. You get them bills rolling at a bar. Sean, chitty chatty, boy.
So you have had Drabel, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn chose to work with Woody Johnson. Like that is like not understated. Woody Johnson.
Man, Woody Johnson, bro. Woody Johnson.
Joe Brady. 4 candidates. And more than likely, I'm pretty much hearing that Cliff Kingsbury is probably more than likely not going to interview with them too. And if he does not interview with them, I would bet money he probably wouldn't. And if he doesn't, it's also probably going to be because of who the GM is. That's 5. And the easy thing is to go come up here and talk about Mickey and blame Mickey and blah, blah. Mickey is just a survivor, bro. Mickey's just a cockroach. Like the problem is really a Gail Benson thing at this point. Like Mickey ain't doing nothing but trying to survive and get a paycheck.
That's it. And protect his ego.
Shit. Like, but I will say, like, if he's at the Senior Bowl, if Jeff Ireland's at the Senior Bowl, that we're not in the position to sell, and we're 1 of 32, looking real funny in the lights right now.
Very funny. Very funny. That's the quote I keep coming to. Like, just the delusional nature of it all, man. Like, and we've been seeing it for a long time now. We've been watching it, recording it, commenting on it, and people like, y'all being too negative, da 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 da. It just is what it is, man. Like, these people are delusional, bro. And you got to understand Gail Benson's perspective, which I get. She's not a business person. She didn't buy the team. She was the wife of Tom Benson, who, died a couple of years ago. She inherited the team after a dramatic ordeal in court, removing the heirs of Benson from the will and all that. She brought on the team. and she knew nothing about running an NFL team. Nothing. And she had to learn how to run an NFL team from Mickey Loomis, Dennis Lucia. Like that's who had to hold her hand and teach her the ropes, and that's whose trust she built with. She built her trust with them. Like what I'm saying. So she's in a predicament now where she doesn't, like we talk about the Rolodex, she doesn't have the Rolodex to be like, look, I'm getting Loomis, Dennis, them out of here, whatever, and I'm going to appoint these people to run my franchise. Because she's just in a position where these are the main people she trusts. These are the people that showed her the ropes to running the NFL teams.
Right.
And I'm not forgiving her at all. She needs to make that decision. Like, because it's this, like, you got the boss up. Like, you got to boss up and be like, look, you're the owner of this team. You have to figure this shit out. Because right now, the people you have in place is making this team a laughing stock, man. Like a laughing stock with no vision, no future, going nowhere.
Nowhere. Like undesirable. Like no one wants to come here. No young coach wants, to the point that Mike McCarthy, who still, like, everyone's like, and he still might get an interview scheduled and blah blah. The interview is not scheduled yet. One might be scheduled. It's not scheduled yet. Mike McCarthy doesn't even want to come here, but the only reason he might end up being the head coach is he knows that both the Saints are desperate and he's desperate. And desperate people do desperate things.
That's it. Because he could sit out. He might sit out all season and, no coaching fit, no opportunities pop up. So he's like, shit, I got to get in, man. That little $4 million Dallas was paying looking kind of nice. He's like, shit, I missed that $4 million.
Shit. Paying the bills. I want to get to a question that Ben asked in the chat a lot earlier before we got going. He said, is there anything the Saints could do to change Joe's mind outside of firing Mickey? If not, is there even a 10% chance that we could still get an interview with Clift? No, nothing would change. I guess maybe if they would fire Mickey Loomis, then Joe's mind could change, but that's not gonna happen.
I'll move Mickey
into like a role. Yeah. And then I would be like, the only way I can see an interview with Cliff happening is that conversation starts off is like with, hey, I'm interviewing with the notion that my contract, if I become head coach, is 12 million, 13 million. If that's not where we starting, I'm not even going to bother with the interview.
Yeah. Money talks. Money does talk.
So no, Wesley. Wesley said Mike McCarthy might take that Texas OC job. No, he absolutely would not. So who are the current candidates that we know for the job? Kellen Moore, who is scheduled to interview has his in-person interview. Anthony Weaver, who's already interviewed. Mike Kafka, who's already interviewed, and Darren Rizzi, who's already interviewed, and maybe a Cliff Kingsbury interview, but I would be shocked if he actually ends up interviewing.
Me too.
And Mike McCarthy, who supposedly may interview or may not interview, but he might.
Which we've been here for 2 weeks now. He's expected to interview. It's like
2 weeks. Bro.
When?
2 weeks.
When?
When? Can it be scheduled? Can it be scheduled? Like the Saints calendar is not booked, and Mike McCarthy's calendar is not fucking booked. So someone can't tell me, like,
what's going on here?
The storm's over. Like, okay. Anyway, so if the Mike McCarthy interviews happens, I would lean towards the Mike McCarthy being the favorite. But if he does an interview, it starts looking very Darren Rizzi-ish real quickly.
It does, man.
And the thing that I don't like is I feel like they would go with Rizzi simply because of continuity, not because he may be the best candidate. Like, Anthony Weaver potentially could have interviewed great. Mike Kafka, who I've heard interviewed great, but I feel like they wouldn't select any of those people because they would be new, and that's not what they want to do. They would just go with Darren Rizzi because what? They know Darren Rizzi.
No Darren Rizzi. Look, let's not upset the apple cart here. Like, just bring on Rizzi back.
The players want Rizzy,
Run it back.
but
Run it
don't.
back.
But what you're not gonna sell to us, and what you're not gonna fucking try to lie to us about and say is that Darren Rizzi was our guy the entire time. Don't you dare try to tell us though.
Stop. And you know they're gonna do it.
Oh,
You know, we've had Rizzy High on our list. He did an amazing job, you know, in 2024, you know, with really very challenging circumstances with injuries and, you know, changing of a head coach in the middle of a season. You know, we really think he really was high on our list this entire time, and we wanted to do our due diligence this time. Blah, 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 blah. You know it's coming. Greg Benzel got that shit written up right now in the drafts. It's ready to go.
I just want Cat to to push back on it, bro. I need Katie. Jamil Dunn, appreciate you. 199 super chat. Any chance Gail pulls a Shad Khan and fires Mickey? No.
Just don't see it.
It's not going to happen this offseason. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I had heard that things might get to the point that they're so desperate that they might potentially consider even bringing up and considering John Gruden, bro. Can I let me? You're so desperate for a head coach that you might consider and entertain hiring a racist, a homophobe, transphobe, all the phobes in the world, rather than just firing your incompetent general manager. That's where we are as an organization right now.
Or someone that's suing the NFL. Suing the NFL.
Like,
you right.
The
They
fix is
keep Mickey
right
Loomis.
there,
They keep Mickey Loomis.
the fix is right there. It's right there, Ryan. The fix. Fire Mickey Loomis. Hire John Gruden. And they out there they stressing. You know the meme where the white guy with the red button and he just stressed like, oh God, what you want to know? That's what.
Like what talent is Mickey Loomis bringing to have such a whole other than experience and loyalty? Which I can't even say loyalty. Like I can't even say that.
What did Loki say? He said I call experience. For
real.
I have called Mickey Loomis. He is from Game of Thrones. Littlefinger, bro.
Oh, Littlefinger, yeah.
That's all he is, bro. Just and Gail, and you said it. He's been with Gail. He's been in her ear literally for decades and years. And I won't say one of the worst things that Gail did was firing DA, but taking just a half measure on it. Like when you do that, you gotta go all the way. If you're gonna fire DA, because when you fired him and then you had Mickey Loomis pretty much call you a bitch right after you did it and call you out, and you not do anything after he did that.
Another issue is, you know, these head coaches that's been interviewing, I know they're asking like, who's running this thing? You got Mueller doing interviews. You got, you know, Ireland, the Matt guy. You got David Ziegler. Loomis. Like what's going on? Who's running this thing? Who is running this thing? What's going on in this building? That's what if I was a head coach, that's what I'd be asking. I'd be like, y'all just got too much going on. I'm surprised why I told Joe Brady was like, man, look, I'm gonna go and stick here with the Bills. We got something cooking over here. I'm gonna ride it out here and figure this shit out later because y'all just got y'all a mess. Y'all a mess.
I'll don't worry. I'll call y'all.
I've been on interview. I remember I went to an interview a couple years ago after I got laid off. So I was, you know, thirsty, bro. Anything, just hire me, please. I'm looking for a job. And this interview went terrible. I mean, the person I was interviewing with was an asshole. It was literally a place I would not want to work. But I needed a job, bro. Like I needed a job.
I get it, bro.
You know what I'm
I get it.
I was trying to find any positive I can. Like, oh man, maybe I could work them over. Blah blah blah. But it was like once I didn't get the job, I was like, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Thank God I didn't get that job because it was just a place I would not have wanted to work. You know what I'm saying? And like now, that's the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Like sure, you got people that's interviewing and stuff like that because they want a job. Of course, they want a job, but it is not a destination people want to be, man. It is not, which is just so unfortunate. With all the
It
success
is.
the Saints have had the past 15 years. I talked about it plenty of times how New Orleans is you just when the Saints are winning and rolling, it's the best place to be in the world. The
The
vibe is
best.
different.
The
The
best.
Saints fans are more invested than any like per capita. I just say per capita. I know they got great fans in every city, but like per capita in New Orleans, like pretty much 9 out of 10 people are diehard Saints fans and live and die with this team 365 days of the year. They deserve so much better. They deserve it, and I feel like the leadership just doesn't see that. They say it. They say, "Oh, we know we got a passionate fan base, blah 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 blah," but their actions don't speak it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they
Mm-mm.
say it, but their actions don't show it at all, man.
Even going beyond that, and we've talked about this. Oh, shout out to Torres on super chat, 19.99 super chat. Say, bruh, this
Therese,
is this is simply for being the coolest pod, coldest pod. Y'all have been calling the front office out for years now. I'm more than tired than TT from Popeyes.
I appreciate it, man.
James Smart 199 super chat. This is a nightmare. Paul
Thank you.
in the chat said, where'd it go? Report says Kafka could bring in Weak Martindale as DC. Listen, Paul, I hear a lot of the Kafka thing. From what I've been told, and this is what I've been told. This was as of yesterday. Right now, Rizzy is the favorite. Kafka interviewed yesterday. I talked to my friend after Kafka interviewed. So they have a preference for Rizzy. And this is what Ryan and I were talking about in the Discord. Like, how can you have a preference? Like, how? Like, when no one wants you, you need to be open to every possibility. And here's the thing. Kafka, like, if you listen into like what Jim Nagy was what Jim Nagy was tweeting about the Senior Bowl, he was like, "Oh man, it'd be kind of weird if Kafka gets the job, it'd be kind of like, well, blah blah blah." But like, Kafka wants the job,
Yeah.
and like, say whatever you will. Maybe he's just he's like, listen, I want to be a head coach, no matter how bad the situation is. I believe in myself. I bet on myself. I can go in and fix it. And say what you will, Daniel Jones's season where he went to the playoffs, and a lot of that was Saquon Barkley and what have you. But a lot of that was Mike Kafka, and he called plays for the Giants that season, if I remember correctly. Unless I'm tripping.
No, you're right.
So
That's about all we got. That's all we got with the Capitals.
listen. Hold on. Oh, let me open this. Kingsbury has baggage. He can't look at head coaching spots like Johnson or Brady. Only so many open each year, and most of them won't give a chance to an unsuccessful retread. What are you talking about, NJP? Why would Cliff Kingsbury leave Jayden Daniels for the Saints? What are you talking about right now? Why?
On top of that, like he's still getting paid from the Cardinals, so it's not like he's thirsty for money, And he's rebuilding his image right now, like literally right now, he's rebuilding his image with one of the most talented rookie quarterbacks we've ever seen.
And
So
he, whatever you want to say about him, and I still have questions about him as an actual head coach, he has the one innate trait that you cannot put a price on. His eye for quarterback evaluation is second to none. He's one of the best eyes for quarterback evaluation. So you can say that like he has baggage. He still does not want to go to a team like the Saints if Mickey Loomis is the GM. So whatever you want to say about Cliff Kingsbury, if that's his non-starter, that says more about the Saints than it does about Cliff Kingsbury. And by the way, Cliff Kingsbury took the Cardinals to the playoffs, even though they lost. He took the Cardinals to the playoffs more recently than anything Dennis Allen did in his head coaching career with the Saints. Anyway, let me get anyway. Shout out to RG Scott's 3X's 999 super chat. If Mike McCarthy takes a job, it's because of the great food. He'll take a job as long as he has access to bad cheese, weed ass and food from Brothers or anything else as you could recommend.
Boy, you let Big Mike get some of some golden wings. Golden wings, boy. Say, man, you get a 50 piece for $25.
That dog, yeah, man. That dog slap, bro.
That dog? Oh man, come on.
Love you some that dog.
Oh, come on home, Mike. Just come on home, bro.
NJP said so did Dennis Allen. He got one interview outside the Saints. Well, okay, I don't know who NJP is. It sounds like a sad individual. I'll ask this to NJP: Has Dennis Allen ever did anything as a even like has he done anything similar to what Cliff Kingsbury has done in playoffs this year? Just would like an answer to that. Okay. Anyhow, I wish I had like an answer. I mean, of like what this team does, but like the answer is simple. Like unless Mickey Loomis is gone, and because here's the sad thing. Even if Rizzy is one and done as head coach, and he's like time out. People keep saying, "Oh, like this is like everyone's complaining about like if Rizzy's the head coach, like he's the perfect head coach for the rebuild, and people should be." Oh. It starts with the culture, and the big reason that Rizzy is such a red flag to me is the way he handled that whole Derek Carr situation. It's not as bad as the DA with the loser mentality, but it's along that same vibe. And I want that loser energy and that loser vibe away from my fucking team. I'm so fed up with it, Ryan. How did we go from a head coach that said your record is what your record is who you are? We almost had that for almost 2 decades from a head coach. To then the GM of the team saying, you got to look beyond the results.
And you're right, but the Rizzy stuff, here's the thing that annoys me with that. It's like, okay, if Rizzy comes back, they just going to run back 2024. So you're going to get Carr, you're going to pay Carr $40-50 million. Oh. Which in 2026, you end up in the same situation that you're in this year, where you're looking at the cap and you're like, oh, well, do we extend him another year to alleviate the cap hit, or do we cut him and take the cap hit? So you're going through another rebuild year. That's why I keep just hitting my head when people are like, oh, just get Rizzy for a year and then fire him because we got to go through this rebuild anyway. If Rizzy comes back, they're not doing a rebuild. If Rizzy comes back, they're doing this fictitious run at all costs for 8 to 9 wins, hopefully, which they won't get to.
No.
That's the problem. They need to reset now. They need to make that move now with whatever coach that's willing to come in and completely start from scratch.
Right.
But they're not. But Rizzy would not be that. Rizzy would not be that move. That's what drives it. And the Rizzy thing, you're right, bro. Like that shit really blew me when he was like, he went to this whole defensive car rant for no real reason, and then was like, the only quarterback to win games was Derek Carr, something like that. It's like, it was kind of a shot at Rattler. I was like, why are you taking a shot at the rookie QB? It was just
gross.
Weird and gross. Because as a coach, you should at least understand the nuance of that situation. That Derek Carr played against the worst teams we faced on the schedule, the worst teams outside the Falcons, the worst, and the Chiefs, which he lost to badly. Spencer Rattler had to face all playoff teams outside the Raiders, all playoff teams, all of them. Like, so you gonna lack that nuance, Rizzy? Like, you're not gonna throw that in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna talk about the challenges that young Spencer Rattler had to face. That right there, Like Rizzy was already falling, but that right there just I was like, out of here, done.
Bro, I know, like, if you ever go back and just watch that 2 minute drill clock management, bro,
I ain't watching it, bro.
a fucking a fucking disaster, Ryan. Tramal, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. I think a new coach can deal with the salary cap as long as Mickey is not the GM. Yes, yes. That, like, people keep bringing up the cap, people keep bringing up the quarterback, people keep bringing up the lack of talent. All valid reasons, all legit valid reasons why people, like, why coaches and what have you would be hesitant to come to the Saints. That's not the primary function. The primary function is like they don't want to work with Mickey Loomis. That literally is the primary function.
That's the key. Like if Gail had fired Da and Mickey Loomis in November,
Ooh, I would probably guess
it would probably be a completely different head coaching search right now. Like we still wouldn't be at the top of the list,
no.
you know, but it would be a completely different coaching search. It would have opened up so many doors.
I probably would guess that Aaron Glenn would probably be the head coach of the Saints right now. Maybe.
And maybe Joe Brady comes and interviews, and you know what I'm saying. It just opens up more doors.
Yes. Let's see. Checking up. Dash made a great point. The longer we keep doing these internal hires, the longer they stay the same. 100%.
100%.
I truly believe, guys, that this is Mickey Loomis's last time picking a head coach. If this coach fails, Mickey gets to move up to a different position. Probably, but also, like, how many seasons has been wasted by him? If this, like, so let's say hypothetically, let's say it's Rizzy, right? How many seasons is Rizzy gonna get? I don't know, season, 2 seasons. So that's
people assume that he'd just be fired after a year, but
let's probably get at least a season and a half, 2 seasons. So
I mean, they don't like paying all that dead money to coaches,
right?
You know,
so that's what four seasons that's essentially wasted, 4.5.
And meanwhile, your culture is degrading. The Q rating of your team and your home base is fading. Not to mention, I believe the Saints are still trying to work out a deal with the state. So many things happened during that time, and you're becoming worse and worse. Where you really, really, really become the worst franchise in sports, the worst franchise in the league. You no longer, that separation between the Drew Brees and Peyton era is so far away that people don't even remember.
Like, shit, at least the Raiders just landed Pete Carroll, bro. Pete Carroll. You know what's funny? Not me saying, hey, maybe the Saints should be calling Pete Carroll. I said that shit in November, bro.
He was available. He was out there, a free agent. Could have hopped on the phone with him, flew him down. At least you didn't have to do a formal interview. Could have just been like, man, let's get Pete down here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go see Pete and just see what he thinks. How he feeling? How his head working? Nope. Mickey Loomis said, we got time for that. We ain't got to worry about all that. We do that at the end of the season.
Was the second team in the league to fire their coach during the season and still don't have a head coach right now. We were just one bad coach away from being the Jags. The Jags won a playoff game not that long ago. They was like a win away from the AFC Championship game. Like, with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. Like, anyway, I we'll see what happens, and this week is going to be very fascinating. Being in Mobile, a lot of talking will be going on. We'll see if that Mike McCarthy interview gets scheduled. That's going to be key. We'll see what happens with that Kellen Moore interview. Like how he does, and see like how he comes across in that interview. Would be shocked if that Cliff Kingsbury interview gets scheduled. Shocked, bro. I would be literally fucking shocked. Even if the Commanders won and they had like their bye week, and obviously that bye week would be in New Orleans, like that Cliff, that'd be a knock on his door. He look in the peephole.
Like, bro, we come to your hotel and talk about call security. This is and
like things have been trending this way for a long time, and I don't want to say like I'm glad that people finally see like what we've known, but like because it's sad. Like we don't want our team to be like the laughing stock of the league. We
Hell
don't
no.
want like it's like and honestly like it's bad for business. Like it's bad for business. It's bad for a podcast. Like it is not great at all. But what we're not going to do as a podcast, what we're not going to do as like a business is we're not going to lie. We're not going to lie to our listeners. We're not going to lie and say shit that's not true. Like the Saints are not good. But more importantly is that they're not a well-run organization, and they haven't been since Drew and Sean left.
And there's no hope in sight. That's the thing.
None,
I
bro.
can't remember who was saying it on the Discord, but it was talking about how we have the same record as what the Panthers. They won 5 games too. But if you're the Panthers, you're a Panthers fan. You have a different feeling. Even with David Tepper, he's been a terrible owner. But you're like, man,
you got Dave Canales out there cooking with Bryce Young.
Bryce Young was looking good toward the end of the season. You got a couple of playmakers. You got, you know what I'm saying? You feel like, okay, we've gone somewhere. We feel like we could go somewhere. We got just a modicum of hope. Saints don't have none of that right now. That's what sucks. That's what really sucks.
And to that point, and I was going to say this earlier, and I forgot. Thanks for bringing it up. Here's the shitty part. If they don't make any changes, do you think that Joe Brady is going to magically want to interview next year if Mickey Loomis is still the GM?
That's what I'm saying.
If Cliff Kingsbury does another stellar season with Jayden Daniels next season, is he going to be like, oh, let me interview with the Saints next season if Mickey Loomis is still the GM?
That's what I'm trying to figure out for the people that just keep saying, oh, well, Rizzy's just this 1 year hire. It's like, who's going to want the job next year? You're going to be in the same cap hell next year. Mickey Loomis still here. He's same thing. Still dealing with the Derek Carr thing. Like, maybe if you're lucky, we have a top 5 pick. Maybe that'll change it.
And then they'll be like, okay, I can see Cliff or Joe Brady could be like, okay, I could go get my quarterback, and then we can figure it out. We have 100 concurrent viewers watching this right now.
On a Saints ain't play a game in 3 weeks. And they on here Sunday morning talking about these niggas. And look, the thing that I really wonder is anybody in the building, do they have the humility? Because that Joe Brady thing has to really strike a chord, bro. Like, yeah, maybe you could talk yourself with the AG situation, like, oh, he played for the Jets, he wanted to go there. But that Joe Brady thing has to really strike a chord to go look in the mirror. Like, do you have that humility to be like, man, maybe because this is what Loomis said. He said, just because the results aren't what we want doesn't mean we're doing something wrong. Like, that mentality has to go.
Please.
That mentality has to leave the building because the results are telling you you are doing something wrong, man.
The results aren't telling you that. People that you want to hire as head coach are telling you that. It ain't the fans. It's people in the league. Joe Brady's telling you that. Aaron Glenn's telling you that. Mike Vrabel's telling you that. Ben Johnson's telling you that. It ain't us telling you that. It ain't us, nigga. Shit, what? Oh, anyway. Mark said, Ryan, if I don't do my economics project and fail, does that mean I didn't do something? I didn't do anything wrong?
Apparently not. Like, according to Loomis, like, hey, you doing all right, bro? Yeah. They tripping. You did just right.
Tony asked, and why would you set up Rizzy or anyone to fail in a can't win situation like that? Because here's the thing. To some degree, that 1 of 32 that Loomis said, there's some truth to it. Rizzy, Kafka, there's someone out there that's gonna be like, I'm that baby's daddy.
Somebody, just like I said about the interview I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a job, man. Shit. Y'all paying how much? I'll be there.
Like, so. Jamel D, can we still get that deal with Rockefeller, bro? I said it about AG, bro. I just felt it, bro. Like that man went and was just laying in his bed like this. Probably was like, man, Woody fucking Johnson, huh? Shit, should I go to should I fly in the airline and see what these niggas talking about?
Probably heard Loomis' voice in his head. Call up with it, man.
He's like, damn, what kind of brooch Gail gonna be wearing if I go see them in a couple of days? She is kind of cute. Nah, got Sauce, got Quentin Johnson. Maybe I could add Mason Graham. Got Brees Hall.
Got wide receivers.
Garrett Wilson. Shit. Who else we got? Oh, we got Will McDonald, the fourth. Coming off a double-digit sack season as a rookie. Shit, man, don't come on, agent. Don't call him Woody. Tell him I'm coming, nigga.
Sign that contract. Sign that contract, baby. Sign that contract.
Bro, like, imagine Aaron Glenn trying to do that with the Saints roster, bro. What he doing, bro?
Ooh, he like this. Tyrann Matthew, 30. Cam Jordan, 35. Mario Davis, 35. These are the top players? Like, what they got some young players. Let me see. Alante Taylor, 26% missed tackles. Get this shit out of here.
What are you coming, bro?
I'm coming with it. Get the hell out of here, bro.
Got nothing to hang their hat on, bro. Nothing to hang their hat on. Justin Cash, $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Gail needs to fire Loomis or sell the team. Someone said in the chat earlier, appreciate the super chat, about like us needing to be careful of wanting Gail to sell the team because maybe she sells the team to someone who may potentially want to like move the team somewhere other than New Orleans.
Yeah. That's my greatest fear. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, apparently there's language in the will to sell to somebody who wants to keep the team, but I don't know how that works legally and shit like that. But that day is gonna come. Like, she has no heir. She's 77 years old. So say hypothetically she has 10 years, 15 years left. That day is gonna come at some point.
Right.
So we'll worry about that when we get there.
Xavier said, would Tom's granddaughter want the team? Rita?
Like, them books been closed, baby. Like, they've been written out the will. I mean, I know they got money, but I don't know if they ain't got the money to buy the Saints. Like, that ship has sailed, man.
Yeah, D. Ganger just said, I said people better watch what they wish for. I mean, it's a valid comment and concern.
We'll get. That's not what's on my mind right now. That'll come later.
Yeah, just right.
Get a head coach.
Yeah, right. Shit. 31 teams in the NFL got a head coach right now. We ain't got one.
We ain't got one, man.
People don't got a lot of interest in people becoming one too. Anyway, 105 concurrent viewers on right now. We definitely appreciate y'all. Love y'all for the support. A very crazy week upcoming. We wanted to just get this out because I'm literally still going to pack up all my camera equipment, sound equipment, computer, all this for the Senior Bowl upcoming. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Maybe we'll have a head coach this upcoming week. Maybe.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't think so, bro. Like, until that Mike McCarthy interview gets scheduled, if it gets scheduled, I have no clue.
Yeah.
Literally no clue. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We just wanted to come up here, just knock this one out, to do a quick update, little emergency podcast, State of the Saints, head coaching searching. It's dire right now. Dire. But as always, we got y'all covered. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will be coming at you full force starting on Tuesday. Making sure you follow Ryan. Hopefully providing some updates on Monday from the Senior Bowl presser, but we will be going hardcore starting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Practice updates. Wednesday is going to be the heavy day for player interviews. Make sure you're a Patreon or a YouTube member. because some of those interviews with players and some of the content is going to be Patreon only, YouTube member only. So patreon.com, Saints Block Party, or become a YouTube member, YouTube Saints Block Party. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. With that, we are out.
Peace.